Welcome to Proudly Said, where we bring bold voices and real stories together. I'm John Hyland, Scouse, queer, and still trying to make sense of it all. And this space is for the stuff we don't always say out loud, though we probably should. Let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of Proudly Said, an LGBTQ podcast with a bit of a Scouse twist. And I'm loving where we are today. We're making most of the sun, and we're actually taking the episode outside. My guest today is Joey from Joey and the Hot Tub Boys.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. Happy to be here.
Why have you brought me here? Like when I spoke about, I try and get my guests to go like where they want to feel comfortable as part of their episodes. He was like, "How about the garden outside?"
Because I live there, so it just made...
That literally it. Like not this is where you come from some solace or anything like that.
I mean, I do, but it's nice and easy because, yeah, I live right there, so...
It's outside the door.
Yeah. There's my privacy gone now.
Oh, yeah, you just like literally... Oh, yeah, Joey's getting doxxed. Not quite. You live in an apartment building, don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know which one.
I just want to talk about this garden to begin with, though. It's beautiful. So we're in the middle of like
nice.
the Baltic, which is obviously it's a bit of a bohemian feel I find around here. There's a lot of LGBTQ plus people who live around the area, and I know a while back there was this big movement for a bit of regen, and it seemed to like stall a little bit, but it seems to be coming on the up again. Like, what do you like about living around here?
Colourful. It's really it's good for the mind. It's good for an artist. I come out here if I want to write. I've written some of my best work in this garden, actually.
I love that. Yeah. So you said it, so I can quite equally segue into it. You're a musician.
Mm-hmm.
Joey and the Hot Tub Boys. I'm going straight into that. Like, what Joey and the Hot Tub Boys? Like that's a interesting name. Like, where, why, and what?
So, the name came from a little joke that I had with my mates because growing up living with my mum, we had a hot tub in our back garden, and we used to throw parties, annoy all the neighbours. We had the lights on, loud music, and that's what we'd all say. Let's get in the hot tub, boys.
You were that neighbour.
I was that neighbour.
Oh, that's literally what you said. Let's get in the hot tub, boys.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So simple.
So simple.
And I think that's when you need those kind of band names. Like, what's the story? Well, there is actually a story.
There is.
It's not like it's someone's initials.
Nope. And my friend Alex, who is the bassist in our band, he's like the survivor from that, that old high school group. So he's
survive.
Yes, because I'm picky. And he he came up with that actually.
So it wasn't even you whose house it was. It was your mate.
No, it was my house.
No, but it wasn't your idea to think of the name.
No, that was his. But as soon as he said it, I was like, "That's so perfect. I love it."
No, it just like rolls off the tongue.
It does.
It really does. Okay, so what kind of vibe, genre, feel is Joey and the Hot Tub Boys?
Upbeat. Let's keep it fun. Let's keep it lively. Very retro, like piano pop, Queen, Elton John vibes. We've got 2 singles out at the minute.
Fabulous.
One's called Superhero, one's called Birdsong, and it's just my friend Natalie once gave us a review which I'm gonna take to my dying days, and that's David Bowie if he wrote gay pop bangers.
Did he not write gay pop bangers?
Well, he did, but
not specifically.
Yeah,
that is a compliment.
I know. I was really touched by that.
I was about to say, how did your reaction? Because I've got to know you recently in recent months. Like, I want to know what your reaction was to that.
I was over the moon. It was just as I'd come off stage. We did a big launch show for Superhero, the first single, at Arts Bar Baltic, just down there. And as they didn't pay me to do that.
This video is not sponsored by.
No. But as we got off stage, that was what Natalie said, and I was like, I love that. I'm using that as promo. So.
Yeah, we don't do CDs these days. Well, actually, I think there's a bit like with vinyl. I feel like CDs are somehow making a bit of a comeback.
Yeah, but I think we like the possession of it to know that that's ours.
Physical.
It's not gonna get wiped off the internet.
So when like some CDs or vinyl cases have like a quote or that's yours.
Yeah.
If David Bowie wrote what was it? Gay pop
bangers. Yeah.
Gay pop bangers. I love that.
It's gay, isn't it?
Okay, so like what you just mentioned that you come out here sometimes as a bit of, I'm using the word solace. I don't know why the word solace is in my vernacular right now.
It's a good word.
It is. I like it. It's all encompassing, isn't it? What is your creative process?
It's usually lyrics first. I I love rhymes. I love wordplay. That's like it brings me like so much. I get so smug if I've written like as like, oh, that's a good one. Those are good
Yeah.
lines. And I'm autistic, so my brain's wired up a bit funny, and I see things in a different light. I view the world in a bit of a different way, and I've got unique challenges, but also unique perks of it. And so I like writing about that, and I like getting into weird headspace and finding new ways of expressing myself, and wordplay and lyrics. That's often first, and then there'll often be sort of a little tune going on while I'm writing them, like
It's
that I
like a little
feel,
generic idea that you're like,
yeah,
this works.
yeah, something that rolls off the tongue, something that's going to be nice to like the band name, and then yeah, it'll sort of grow from there. And usually I'll get a sort of a rough idea on the piano, and then I'll take it to the rest of the band and see what they think, and let them put their stamps on it with their instruments, and it grows pretty organically. We tend to do it the old-fashioned way, really.
It's the fact that you write it all yourself. It's all your own music, which I feel is I think in the industry that's not as seen as much.
Oh.
There's some key band, I would say key organizations, key bands, and people who do that, but who do that. That's so scouse. They do that though, don't they? Though. But you touched upon something there about you being autistic and how that like kind of plays into it. I heard a phrase like last year at a Pride event, and it was I have since forever used it because I think it's a nice way of referring to the neurodivergent community. It's being neurospicy.
Neurospicy. It's a label I wear with pride.
I love it. So, just for those who might be more neurotypical and don't understand how that works as part of the process, can you delve a little bit more into like how you think that might? It just does.
I think I've got a good sense of humor. I'm quite quick, and I'm not always the most filtered person.
Which you like sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely like someone without a filter.
And so I think in terms of how it plays into my creative process, I think I like to keep a word I've always liked to use to describe my music with is quirky. I like to just go a bit funny with it, and there'll be lots of little jokes, little puns, or double entendres in my words, which I like to see if people spot them, and
do they? Depends on who it is.
Yeah, it depends on who it is.
So I think moving on a little bit more, because I think you utilize your music and your stuff in more than just being a creative process. In some respects, being more of like a political tool. I wouldn't say political tool. I think the word politics has got a bit dirty these days. More of like an activist tool.
I prefer that word.
Advocacy tool. Why is that important to you?
There's a lot going wrong in the world right now, and
to put it bluntly,
someone needs to speak out about it. And obviously, there's lots of people who are doing a better job of that than me. But I care very deeply about the people in my life and about our local community. And if I can use my music to raise my voice about that, then I will. Like Birdsong, the single that we put out in January. It's a very happy, very bouncy tune because that's how I like my music to be. But the story in the song is all about challenging selfishness and entitlement and embracing kindness and sharing and and looking out for each other. Yeah,
which you definitely need more of.
Absolutely.
So you find yourself you're quite embedded in our little LGBTQ plus rainbow community.
Yeah, I like to be.
I like to be. We were talking before we were on camera about different like groups that you're involved in. So why do you think it's important to be from a local perspective rather than the fact that the world has gone to shit? From a local perspective, like you said, some people are doing it better than you. Like any little thing is more than what some people are doing.
Thank you. That's true.
And I think that creatives are definitely how it gets seen and heard by more people. So from a local perspective, why do you think like it's important to do so?
I've been living in Liverpool for a while, but it took me quite some time to really find my people.
Yeah, like your tribe.
Yeah. I had lots of friends in uni and that was great, but there's only like a handful of them that I've stuck with and remained communicating with since. And then sort of in that post-uni phase I was like, where am I? Where's my, everyone goes home, goes back to their respective corners of the world, and you're sort of there was like a limbo phase where I didn't really feel like a fit in anywhere. I mean,
Mm.
Not that I care a ton about fitting in, but
Yeah, but sometimes you
there's
feel
a
like you need to want to like you don't want to feel isolated.
that
Yeah.
was a key thing. But over the last couple of years, that's really, really turned around. Like, I've got the just wackiest and loveliest group of friends, and that's been kind of since I moved back to city centre and just started going to more events, more gigs, more queer events, and also just plowing on through with the band and just being out there more. Now I've just got this um really tight group of people who I love to death and really are like, we talk a lot about found family
Mm.
in the queer community, and that's it really, really is true. And that's really the experience I've had over the last couple of years, and I'm really grateful for it.
And that's where you think you're fighting for it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's
Thank
like
you.
sorry, that's my key phrase when it's like, ooh, thinking of a way to segue. Love that. Thinking. No, I think that's important, especially from a local perspective. And I think with Liverpool, because I think many people talk about how we are a welcoming city, welcome community, etc., etc. It is true from what we understand, but we also know there's horrendous facets that it isn't. Was it 21, 22? There was a random spat of like homophobic hate crimes around the city centre. But as horrendous as that was, I think it shows the power of our own community. Within like the space of like 2 days, a protest was formed, went through the city centre, and it's just like how it comes together. So going back to like your music and activism and like giving back to the community kind of thing. Like, so where do you like? What do you like to do with your like performances? Like, where do you like to perform? How do you like to like give back to that community that you're part of?
I like to perform in I like a vibrant venue. I like a bit of colour. Um I I like to put on my own events because I like to curate lineups. I like to spotlight fellow queer artists, and
Yes,
I
which
uh
we like to do. We like to make sure that they are spotlighted and they get paid if they can.
that's a big one. I really like the feeling of everyone in the room being there to look out for each other and
Mm.
enjoy themselves and each other. Just recently we played the Sisters Making Waves showcase, which was at the Commune Bar on the 4th of April,
Okay.
and that was hands down one of my absolute favorite shows we've done, because the whole room was just joyous. Everyone, have you been to Commune?
I haven't. I haven't.
It's
But
a
I have.
lovely space. It's quite small, it's quite intimate, and it was a proper mix of performers. It wasn't just music. You had we had a stand-up comic called Jacqueline Fontaine on
Okay.
first. She is wild. She was absolutely hilarious. Had the room in stitches. We had a poet. We had three other musicians, and it was just such a great mix of talent. Oh, we also had a jewelry store. The lady called Paula had her homemade stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um,
I know.
yeah. And the Hot Tub Boys and I, we closed the show, and it was an honor to be part of it. My friend Nicola put it on, and she's just awesome, superbly talented, great, great human being. I can't get enough of her. And the way that everyone was cheering each other on right from the get-go.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of gigs where it sort of takes a while to get the atmosphere going, get everyone
Yes.
into it, and I always feel bad for like the first couple of performers because it feels like no one's paying attention. Oh, we're only here for the headliner, or we're
Yeah.
only here for our mates. Nah. This one, everyone was there to support everyone from the get-go, and it was such a lovely, warm and kind space. And so when we got on stage, we felt like we didn't even have to try. The room was just, everyone was cheering and singing along, and it was just a really, really special memory. And so that's what I aim for with any gig that I'm a part of. That's the vibe I want to create.
And I love the fact that you say like we didn't have to try, and I said that says a lot because I think you are right. I think in these days when people are really hard for like wanting to spend their money and stuff, it's like I'm paying for this particular act, so I'm going for that particular act, which is bonkers to me. But in a weird devil's advocacy way, I can understand the point. But as you say, it's like it's a gig, it's a concert, it's a gig, it's a gig. It's like there's a number of people involved, so support everyone. And you are right. Like at the start, it does feel like sometimes okay, people just got there, they're just getting their drinks or they're getting their food, whatever it may be. And the first couple of acts are like trying to get people into that headspace of like, come on, guys, get on with this gig. And
I've been that person.
yeah,
I know what it's like, and it's rough.
How would you go about doing that?
Well,
Because obviously, I said I've seen you perform, so I've seen the way you can kind of get the crowd going.
a part of it is that simply I am very, very vain and love hearing myself talk. And I'm not afraid to admit
Really?
that.
I hadn't noticed.
Wow. Now.
I'm only joking, of course.
Um,
Maybe I should be a comedian. Maybe not.
Maybe.
Sorry, I will let you answer the point now.
I love this. Red for filth in an instant. To put it quite bluntly, I'm very, very persistent. You will get up on your feet, you will clap, and you will join in. I've got half an hour or 45 minutes on this stage, and then like I'm handing over to the next act, or
Yes.
like so I'm making the most of it, and like the way especially if I see people on their phones or like chatting amongst themselves, it's like no one's forcing you to be here.
Well, yeah, exactly.
If you
You've
wanna,
paid to be here.
yeah, like if you don't want to listen to the music, you can leave.
Yeah.
So if you're here, then join in, get involved because you'll
Yeah.
have a better time. Like, yeah,
It's interesting. Like I went to a recent gig with a more like mainstream artist, but it was a very intimate gig, and you could tell some people. I don't know what they thought it was going to be, but you could tell some people when the performer. I'm not saying their name on purpose. When the performer like got on stage and was with their keyboard and was like very low key acoustic kind of vibe. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We were stood near the stairs to leave the venue, and many people, not many, but a few people left because they were expecting this big up at the top, like even though it was very, very blatantly like
yeah.
advertised to what it was. And then there was a little bit of a Q&A bit where they'd been prepped for questions, like they'd already been given out. But every so often, like someone would just shout something, and some guy shouted some really inappropriate thing, and it's like, mate, are you serious? Like,
It's not good enough.
What? Like, what? Why are you here?
Literally.
Why are you here?
No, I've dealt with plenty of people like that.
Yeah.
It's not fun. And like when we're showing off our craft, when we're putting in the time, getting a set together, rehearsing, transporting all the equipment, getting our costumes done, getting our makeup done, setting everything up, all the back and to the car or wherever we've like we put in work. People, I'm gonna go off on one now.
Do it.
People think that it's just play being a musician. The bit that you see on stage in front on the in front of the curtain bit is the tip of the iceberg. I know that's such a cliched phrase.
Oh, no, I was literally thinking it myself because I've used it before, and I don't know if it's another episode. Nothing. That is all that people see, and then there's this massive thing under.
They
the
don't
water.
see all the prep, the writing, the getting all the songs together, the recording, the hours of rehearsal, the transport, the finding somewhere to crash for the night, all of it. Like when we put all that work in, if audiences are being rude and entitled, damn right we're going to take it personally, and we're not here for it. I think rewind a few years, and I think the Joey of old would have been a bit more patient with people like that.
The Joey of old.
That makes me sound.
I was going to say you're about 12.
Just because I'm a twink, that does not. Oh my god!
You know, I say it with love / jealousy.
Babes, you look amazing. You have nothing to worry about.
Go on, Joey of old would be a bit more patient and be like, guys, be quiet, please. Now you're like, bitch, shut up.
Now I'm like, get out. Last year was bitch, shut up. This year, just get out.
You know what? I think, when you see those clips on like TikTok or YouTube where there's like a performer, like, especially if it's a theatre show and they break character to tell someone who's being really rude, like, you're like,
yeah, because they shouldn't have had to do that.
Respect
them. And people say, oh, it's unprofessional. Nah, the audience person is being unprofessional. And again, no one's forcing you to be there. You have chosen to enter this space that is not yours to consume a piece of art or a concert or a show or whatever. If you're not going to respect the space, leave.
This is a weird little bizarre connection I'm making. So I'm a little bit obsessed with Rocky Horror, right? I've been to every touring show of it since like 2013.
I love Rocky Horror.
I know all the heckles and I shout them with hi ho, and I get it's a rowdy show. It is a rowdy show. I say it's an adult panto.
but it's the good kind.
Yeah. So you've been to see it on the stage?
Yeah.
So have you ever been on a Friday or a Saturday?
I've only been once, and I can't remember what day it was.
Okay, so I've been at different dates. My brain is like, oh my god, the audience is going to be more like vibrant or whatever on a Saturday or a Friday. Yes, that is true, but there are also many people who may not have been before who get very, very drunk beforehand because they've all come in their get up, whatever, and they get really, really drunk, or they've never been before, but they're getting dressed up because you know that's what they do. And oh my god, they are so rude. And once they hear people shouting, they start shouting random shit. It's like, no, that's not the rude. The word is arsehole.
Exactly. I'll tell you what, the first, and I said so far, only time I've been to see Rocky Horror on stage, I was mesmerized because I didn't know about any of that. I didn't know about like the
audience etiquette.
Yeah, I didn't know all the lines and like the heckling and and it was like everyone knew it off by heart.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, like where did you read this? What I was so this is brilliant. Like I'm gonna misquote it, but the general, it was like when
I'll probably correct you. Go on, say it.
When they're first going like towards the castle initially, and the narrator's like, and as they approached, they both started feeling a bit, and then someone shouted, "Horny!"
Yep, that is correct. That is correct. It says apprehensive here. Yes, that is very much. I'm sorry, I've just clocked an Obi-Wan Kenobi over there. Is there Comic-Con? Comic-Con's on this weekend.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a random thought. Another reason why you shouldn't do it in the public. I am a bad people watcher.
We've got an Obi-Wan Kenobi over there. I saw a Lord Farquaad earlier.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Were they on their knees?
No, but they happen to be quite a short person anyway, so it worked.
Right, let's not get distracted by that. This is about you, Joey.
I am a massive geek, though. There's a reason my first song is called Superhero. Like, I love this stuff.
Okay, well, you mentioned that. So is that the reason why? Is superhero, it's not about like someone you look up to. It's literally about superheroes.
It's about the comic book beefcake. You know, they know what they're doing when they draw them like that with those nice skin tight, muscular builds, those outfits.
Beefcake, I love that. Like Batman, the original Batman films, and like the last two, it's like they've got like rubber nipples and stuff.
It's crazy. Like, they say lots of queer comic book nerds will tell you that Chris O'Donnell as Robin was their gay awakening.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, we all know that. And hi, I'm not excluding myself from that. I would have loved to have seen him go into the Nightwing persona because then, you know, you've just got the.
I think you're looking too much on what the possibility of was back then.
I know what you mean.
It was literally just about let's make money. Like, how can we make action figures?
I know.
That's literally what that was about. It's not like Marvel and DC. Oh well, we'll say DC or trying to do at the minute.
I'm excited. I'm intrigued.
We'll see. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So there's a bit of homoeroticness behind it all.
Absolutely. I mean, have you seen the artwork for Superhero?
I haven't, which is really naughty of me. So I'll have to find it right after this. You're like, you fucking bitch.
You'll know exactly what I mean when you see that.
Okay. I've heard it, and I've heard bird song. I've heard that, so I've heard your music. I just haven't seen the. Okay,
that's okay.
I haven't seen the artwork.
That's okay, babe.
John, do your research.
Well, plug your local queer artist, queer artisan, Franz Genau.
You know what? As soon as you said, but I was literally about to say, is it Sev? I was literally about to ask, is it Sev? As soon as you said queer beef, I was like, this is definitely Franz Genau.
If you're watching, you absolutely smashed it. Thank you so much.
So I'm just conscious of time because I think we could talk forever, which is actually quite nice, and I like that happens. So for people looking, I'm trying to get the camera app up on my phone just so I can see how long we've been recording for. I just want to touch on one thing that you have performed at recently that I think was incredible from a city perspective, and that was Vivian's Vigil. How was that for you? Because that was a very different type of gig, not in the sense of like the obviously what it was, but like it was on St. George's Plateau. It was, you know, to the public in it with like how was that for you?
I very rarely get nervous before performing, but I was. Can I swear on this?
I mean, I've sworn off as it is.
I was shitting bricks. Because I really, really cared about doing the Vivian justice and making it a really, really good send off for it. Mm-hmm. And the songs that we picked, we went with No One But You, Only the Good Die Young by Queen, and Heart of Stone by Cher. Because I think they're both really poignant songs, and Viv mentioned that Heart of Stone was a favourite song of hers that she listened to loads during lockdown. I was so honoured to have been asked, and we took it very, very seriously.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was probably the biggest crowd I've ever played to, and it was just it was it was a lovely event, and I really think James would have loved it, and I just hope we did you proud, babes.
I mean, it didn't help for the nerves that we were we were calling you and you couldn't hear us because of the amps.
So far back.
You were so back on St George's Plateau, and then we were saying that we were calling Joey and the Hot Tub Boys. It's like, are they here? It's like, oh no, because the amps are facing the crowds and you were behind the amps.
Couldn't hear anything.
If anything, it adds a bit of, I suppose, a lightning.
Yeah, which I think is needed. Yeah, it was hopefully that got a little chuckle out of everyone. But yeah, I had so many friends reach out to me afterwards and congratulate us, and it was really it was a really special day, and yeah, we were so happy to be part
That's
of
what I
it.
was going to ask. Did you get much feedback off the back of it? Mixture of people who knew you, maybe people who maybe, and then obviously this is not the reason why you did it. I know it wasn't, but I don't know if you maybe got some people who found you afterwards.
Yeah, there were definitely lots of people in that crowd who hadn't heard us play before, and I got some nice words from people passing as we were leaving.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Like, I think in the moment when you're like just raw from doing the performance, that's probably the time when to get you to make you cry more.
yeah, yeah. That was an emotional performance. It was an emotional day.
Yeah.
And it was unlike any other performance that I or we have done, but I'm really glad that we did it.
Good. I think you did the city proud as well in that respect.
Thank you. It was a good bit of motivation. It really did uplift me, and to have been trusted with that task of performing at such a special event to commemorate such a wonderful person, it did feel like a call to the mark. Like we've got to make this special. We've got to put the work in. Not that we ever done, but like,
I mean, after that conversation about icebergs, if you hadn't have done
exactly, it felt like a real honor and privilege to have been asked. And then there was the desire. We've got to do this right.
Yeah.
And the response that we got, we definitely did, and it was really
good.
Definitely gave us more motivation and inspiration to keep going.
I'm glad. So I think on that, I do a little segment towards the end of the episodes that I want to call Scout Spotlight. So you just mentioned that you're not originally from Liverpool.
No.
Where are you from?
Warrington.
Oh, it's not that far away.
No,
it's right down the road.
Yeah.
I like to put people on the spot and say, if you were to think of a person, a thing, a track, anything that you think and that says Liverpool, what would you say?
I'm going to go with an artist who was on the Sisters Making Waves gig with me at the start of April. She's called Mina. She is so talented. Her voice is awesome. Her songs are kind of quirky like mine. So we sort of instantly clicked through the similarities in our music. And she's just so lovely to talk to. And every time we bump into each other, it's great. And you can follow her, Mina_land on Insta.
Mina Land.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Mina M-I-N-A or M-E-E-N-A?
M-I-N-A.
M-I-N-A. Oh, I got that right first time. Go me.
Yeah, she's just awesome. Really good, like acoustic guitar artist. Very, very tuneful, very sweet lyrics, really good melodies, and yeah, I was blown away by her. And
she's a local gal.
She is, yeah.
I love the way you did that. Like, thought processed. Your supercomputer brain is going through who. Focus on one person. I love that. That's really nice, though, Joey. Like,
Thank
that's
you,
really
Dan.
cool. I hope Mina clocks that. So as we come to a close, I'm conscious of time. Corporate buzzwords that will never leave me. What's next for Joey, and what's next for Joey and the Hot Tub Boys?
So for the band, we've got our third single, which is called Totally Over You. That's coming out hopefully next month, all going well. And yeah, it's a bit of a slower tune than our first two, but every gay boy needs a heartbreak anthem, don't they?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what mine is because it's happened multiple times. But yeah, I agree. Something to cry to.
Exactly, and it's a song that we're all really proud of, and looking forward to getting that into your ears.
And what about yourself? Or is that what you're focusing on?
I think I'm just looking forward to like making more memories now that I've
set and established and embedded in the city and stuff.
Things have been really looking up for me at the minute, so I'm looking forward to just sort of I no longer feel like I'm fighting to live here. I feel grounded and safe here now, and so I'm excited for this sort of new chapter of going out with this newfound freedom and security.
Love that. Back in another life, this is a really bizarre connection I'm making, by the way. When I used to be involved with Liverpool Pride, but my favourite thing I used to do was I would be one of the first ones at St George's Plateau before the March muster, because I used to then introduce the speakers. And my favourite thing was always seeing like young people who it was clearly like their first Pride or something, and they come, and this is it's horrible to say it out loud when I'm saying it, but in that moment it was lovely. See them get to the plateau, get their rainbow stuff out of their bags because they didn't feel comfortable wearing it on the bus and stuff like that, but then being around their tribe around them, like it was so heartwarming to see, and just like what's like, that's so nice.
It really is nice.
Shit that they had to like the bit beforehand, but the actual experience of watching them,
of course, the
smile on their faces,
the relaxing of it, the lowering of the guard.
Yes, it's great to hear so much. That's good. What's the band's doing, that you've got plans coming up. So where can they find you and the band online?
So our music is on all streaming platforms. So whichever your preference is, you'll find us there. Joey, and using the and sign, not the word, and the Hot Tub Boys. We're on Insta, TikTok. I'm only gonna go with those two, but Insta's kind of our main one. You'll get stuff first if you go there, and that's at Joey Hot Tub Boy, one word. Yeah, there's lots of videos and like highlights and stuff from our shows and our releases on there. And there's going to be more coming up as we get ready for the next single, and you'll find out about any future gigs on there.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. It's been really nice. This has been a really nice episode.
Thank you for having me, John. I've been really looking forward to it.
I know you have. Jeez. Every so often. Then I'm like, here's me jingle.
Yeah. You can do it afterwards if you want.
I will. So that's been another episode of Proudly Said, an LGBTQ+ podcast, a bit of a Scouse twist with Joey from Joey and the Hot Tub Boys. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Proudly Said. Catch you next time. You've been listening to Proudly Said. If it meant something to you, pass it on. If it didn't, maybe it will one day. Either way, stay kind, stay loud, and stay proud. Thanks for listening.